Hello and Jai Swaminarayan, dear all. Principles of Economics and Management. The subject code is 3140709. Principles of Economics and Management. So let's start. Unit number 2, Theory of Production and Cost. Unit 2, Theory of Production and Cost. Today we are going to start fixed and variable inputs. Fixed and variable inputs. A fixed input is one whose supply is inelastic in the short run, and a variable input is defined as one whose supply is in the short run is elastic. For example, labor, raw materials, etc. A fixed input remains fixed up to a certain level of output, whereas a variable input changes with change in output. So this is fixed and variable inputs. Production function. A firm has two types of production function. Number one, short run production function, and number two, long run production function. So we are going to discuss about short and long run production function. Long run production function, it refers to a period of time in which supply of all the input is elastic but not enough to permit a change in technology. In the long run, the availability of even fixed factor increases. Thus, in the long run, production of commodity can be increased by employing more of both variable and fixed inputs. So, it is called long run cost. Factors of production. The classic economic resources include land, labor, and capital. Entrepreneurship is also considered an economic resource because individuals are responsible for creating business and moving economic resources in the business environment. These economic resources are also called the factors of production. Capital. Capital can represent the monetary resources companies use to purchase natural resources, land, and other capital goods. Capital also represents the major physical assets. For example, buildings, production facilities, equipment, vehicles, and other similar items. Individuals and companies use when producing goods or services. So it is capital and what it represents that we have discussed. Entrepreneurship, it is also considered a factor of production. Since someone must complete the managerial functions of gathering, allocating, and distributing economic resources or consumer products to individuals and other businesses in the economy. So it is entrepreneurship. Law of diminishing returns, law of variable proportions, the law which brings out the relationship between varying factor properties and output are known as the law of variable proportion. The variation in inputs lead to a disproportionate increase in output. More and more units of variable factor when applied cause an increase in input, but after a point the extra output will grow less and less. The law which brings out this tendency in production is known as law of diminishing returns. So long run production, it refers to a period of time in which supply of all the input is elastic but not enough to permit a change in technology. In the long run, the availability of even fixed factor increases. Thus, in the long run, production of commodity can be increased by employing more of both variable and fixed inputs. Continue. Look at here, the following table explains the operation of the law of diminishing returns. Number of workers, total product यानी TP, and average product यानी AP, and marginal products that you can see here. The law of diminishing returns operation at 3 stages. At the first stage, total product, marginal product, average product increases at an increasing rate. This stage continues up to the point where AP is equal to MP, average product and marginal product. At the second stage, the total product continues to increase but at the diminishing rate. As the MP at this stage starts falling, the AP also declines. This stage ends where TP become maximum and MP becomes zero, यानी marginal product and total product. Law of returns to scale. Law of returns to scale. It operates in the longer run. Returns to scale is the rate at which output increases in response to proportional increases in all inputs. The increase in output may be proportionate, more than proportionate or less than proportionate. वो more than भी हो सकता है, वो less than भी हो सकता है. It is called law of returns to scale. Increasing returns to scale. Proportionate increase in all factor of production results in a more than proportionate increase in output. Increasing returns is equal output input. Output and input you can look at here. L for labor and K for, which in this unit K for capital. Diminishing returns to scale. The term diminishing, it means decreasing. Returns to scale where output increases in a smaller proportion than the increase in all inputs. Diminishing returns, output input, that you can look at here. Economies of scale. The factors which cause the progression of the laws of returns to scale are grouped under economies and diseconomies of scale. Increasing returns to scale operates because of economies of scale, and decreasing returns to scale operates because of diseconomies of scale, where economies and diseconomies arise simultaneously. So it is called economies of scale. Internal economies of scale. Internal economies are those which arise from the expansion of the plant size of the firm. Internal economies of scale may be classified as: number 1, economies in production, economies in marketing, economies in management, economies in transport and storage. So these are the 4 parts: production, marketing, management, transport and storage. Economies in production, it arises from technological advantages of division of labor and specialization. Managerial economies, it achieves through specialization in management, mechanization of managerial function also. External economies of scale. External economies to large size firms arise from the discounts available to it due to large scale purchase of raw materials, large scale acquisition of external finance at low interest, lower advertising rate from advertising media also, and concessional transport charge on bulk transport also. Lower wage rates if large scale firm is monopolistic employer of certain kind of specialized labor. So these are called external economies of scale. External economies of scale are strictly based on experience of large scale firms or well managed small scale firms. Economies of scale will not continue forever. Expansion in the size of the firms beyond a particular limit. too much specialization, inefficient supervision, improper labor relationships, etc., will lead to diseconomies of scale. So, these are the external economies of scale. Types of cost, there are several types of cost: money cost, real cost, opportunity cost, sunk cost यानी past cost, incremental cost, explicit cost, implicit cost, accounting cost, economic cost and social cost. Money यानी production expense in terms of money. Real यानी it includes efforts, sacrifices in production. Sunk यानी past cost. And incremental change in level and natural activity. And explicit यानी paid in cash. Implicit not paid in cash. Accounting cost explicit. Economic cost यानी explicit plus implicit cost. Fixed costs are those costs which do not vary with the volume of production. Even if the production is zero, a firm will have to incur fixed costs. Examples are rent, interest, depreciation, insurance, salaries, etc. It is also called supplementary costs, capacity costs, or period costs, or overhead costs. Variable costs are those costs which change with the quantity of production. When the output increases, variable cost also increases, and when the output decreases, the variable cost also decreases. Examples are materials, wages, power, stores. Variable costs are also known as prime costs or direct costs. Business costs include all the expenses which are incurred to carry out a business. These cost concepts are used for calculating business profits and losses, and for filing returns from income tax, and also for other legal purposes. It is called business cost. Average cost is the cost per unit of output. That is the total cost divided by number of units produced. Average cost is equal to total average fixed cost plus total average variable cost. Marginal cost is the additional cost to total cost when an additional unit is produced. Break-even analysis is a technique that helps decision makers understand the relationships among sales volume, costs and revenues in any organization. It is a graphical method of analyzing and also known as post-volume profit (CVP) analysis. So in this method, break-even point BEP, for example, the level of sales volume to which total revenues equal total costs is determined. Break-even analysis is a vital tool of financial planning and control. Its accuracy depends on the reliability of data. It can be carried out in two ways: algebraic method and graphical method. Assumptions in BEP: it assumes that the total cost is divided into two categories. Number one, fixed cost, and number two, variable cost. It totally ignores the semi-variable cost. Fixed cost remains constant throughout the volume of production. The selling price of the product is constant throughout the sale. The variable cost changes proportionally with volume of production also. So all the goods produced are sold. For example, volume of production and sales are equal, or there is no closing stock. The firm is producing only one type of product. In case of multi-product firm, the product mix is stable. Limitations of break-even analysis. The analysis is based on fixed cost, variable costs and total revenue. Any change in one variable affects even break-even point. So semi-variable costs and depreciation are not accounted, which is significant in any manufacturing firm. Multiple charts are to be produced in case of multi-product firm. So these are the limits of break-even analysis. The effects of technological development, managerial effectiveness also determines profitability. These factors are not considered in break-even chart. The break-even chart is based on fixed cost concept and hence holds good for a short period. So break-even analysis is not suitable under fluctuating business environment. Terminologies used in BEP: fixed cost, costs that remain the same regardless of volume of output. Cost of land, building, machinery, top management, salary, tax on property, depreciation, insurance, etc. And variable costs which are dependent on volume of production. Production, it means cost of materials, wages, packaging, costs, transportation of finished products, etc. Terminologies used in BEA: total cost, total revenue and profit. Terminologies used in BEP: the point at which total cost line and total revenue line intersect is known as break-even point. Break-even point in terms of sales value and break-even point in terms of quantity. Quantity like BEP units, total fixed cost and selling price per unit. Marginal safety. Terminologies used in BEA: margin of safety is equal actual sales. Sales at BEP is the distance between the BEP and the output being produced. If the margin of safety is small, drop in production capacity may decrease the profit considerably. There should be reasonable margin of safety, or otherwise it may be disrupts from the organization. Low margin of safety is the indication of high fixed costs. Profit volume ratio, it is also known as contribution margin ratio. Terminology using BA: angel incidence. Large scale of incidence means higher profits. Small angel incidence means less profit are being made at less favorable conditions. In contribution, it is the difference between the selling price per unit and variable cost per unit. Thank you very much, dear all.